foodie, then you'll definitely want to hear what our guest today has to say. If you're a griller, he's probably one of your idols. Bobby Flay is here to talk with us about the art of barbecue. Thanks for talking with us, Bobby.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, here in North Carolina, we like to think we've got some pretty good barbecue down here. So we also actually have another guest with us today. Barry Christensen is from Smithfield's Barbecue to join in the discussion.
Okay, great.
Hey, how you doing?
So we've got three of us here to grill you today, if you will, no pun intended. Barry, why don't you go ahead and start off? What do you have a question for Bobby?
Hey, Bobby, how you doing? I
Good.
first want to say that I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
I remember back in the day, I was grilling, chilling.
Right, exactly. Early days.
He gave me your whole bio beforehand. He really is a fan.
But I wanted to ask, hey, here at Smithfield's, where I work, we still use an old-fashioned family recipe in our barbecue. What's your favorite method for doing barbecue?
Well, what kind of barbecue?
What kind?
What
you mean
kind of
like
barbecue?
pork, beef?
Yep, the pork.
Pork, like pulled pork. I mean, I love pulled pork. A lot of times, I use a spice rub that we have. It has 16 different spices in it, and then we smoke it for a very long time. Sometimes I use like a cajachina, which is the sort of Cuban-style magic box to cook it in. And then I love using the Carolina flavors. I love using mustard barbecue sauces for my pork. To me, I think that the mustard and the vinegar-based barbecue sauces work incredibly well.
Bobby, we're just suddenly discovering, as you're answering his question, I'm the only one who can hear you, so I will relay your answers to him after this.
Okay.
But you do actually have another question for him, too, right? That I'll tell you his answer to later.
All right.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what's your favorite, what, shoulders or whole pigs when doing the barbecue?
Oh, I mean, either one. I mean, if I have the time to do the whole hog, that's great. But, I mean, a lot of times, sort of stuck for time. So, I like to use the shoulders because they're just a little bit easier to negotiate. But, both are okay with me.
So Barry obviously knows a ton about barbecue. He is in the barbecue business, but not everyone does. Not everyone does it for their business. I understand you have a contest for maybe some more amateur barbecuers to get involved.
Exactly. What we're doing is we're actually looking for recipes from the Pacific Northwest, ingredients relating to the Pacific Northwest. And today I'm showing people how to make salmon 4 different ways, utilizing some different regions of America. We have a southwestern version that has some chilies and some black beans. We have a southern version that has some crawfish and a little cream and some tarragon. And then we have a northeast version, sort of New England style, with an oyster and potato pan roast. And then for the Pacific Northwest version, this one I think is really the most interesting. We're cooking it on a cedar plank, so it has some of that smoky flavor that you guys like in Carolina, and then a little bit of cedar flavor as well. And we're pairing it with some more Pacific Northwest ingredients, some mushrooms, some morel mushrooms and some chanterelle mushrooms, and then a sauce made out of red wine, some Merlot. So you get a little of the red wine sauce on the plate, and you also have some red wine in the glass. And basically what I want you to do is come up with recipes that pair Pacific Northwest ingredients with Columbia Crest wine. I've partnered with Columbia Crest because they're a Washington State vineyard, and we want the Pacific Northwest wines to go with the Pacific Northwest dishes. And then you can send your entries to foodnetwork.com/Columbia Crest, and I'm going to judge them myself, and then we're going to pick a winner, and they're going to come to New York, and you're going to cook with me. So maybe, Paige, you'll come to New York.
Yeah, I don't know about me, but maybe Barry might. I think he's got a little bit of a head start in the barbecue venue here.
I'll be there.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be there. Now, we do have another question from one of our viewers, actually. This is beforehand. We told him that we'd be talking to you, and he wants to know, this is from Adam Cavati in Durham, and he wants to know, once and for all, what's the best barbecue, Texas or North Carolina? And let me remind you, Bobby, we're talking to you from Raleigh.
No, I know, and my wife's from Texas, so you really put me in a bad position.
Oh, no.
I have to say that the great thing about barbecue is that it's different in every place. When I think about beef, I think Texas. When I think about pork and pulled pork sandwiches and alike, I think North Carolina. So I'm going to have to call it a tie depending on what you're eating.
Fair enough. Very PC. Next time you're down here, I hope you'll stop by and see us. And, of course, Barry, I'm sure you're invited to Smithfield's. Thanks, Bobby. Have a good one.
See you later.
All right. And thank you guys so much for watching.